Now this is the Switch Pro. Who would have ever thought that we are getting a better handheld experience later on this year, and it just wasn't going to come from Nintendo? Well, we heard about the Switch-like Steam device for a little while. There was rumors about it, and now it is here, and I am here to talk all about it, and honestly, I am excited as all hell. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I genuinely am. Before we start, I would like to remind you to do what you got to do with the buttons and the subscriptions and all that good stuff. Leave a comment, engage. All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's switch on over to this website. The Stream Deck has been announced, and boy oh boy is this thing gorgeous. Starting at $399. We're gonna talk about the price in a little bit because I have some thoughts, but it starts shipping December 2021. You can add it to the wish list. You can reserve it, not pre-order. They're not doing pre-orders quite yet, but reservations are happening, and I'm gonna do my best to get my hands on one. It says here all-in-one portable gaming. It has a dock, it has a micro SD slot, it has gyro, it does everything the Switch does but better, except for Nintendo games. Obviously, you probably aren't going to be able to play Breath of the Wild 2 on this. That's sad. But anything else, indies, third parties, oh man, this is gorgeous. All right. It's a little big and bulky, right? I don't play handheld so much, but if I wanted to, this is going to be the way to do it. Hardware designed to put real games in real hands. It's powerful. It can run the latest AAA games really well. It says it's comfortable, versatile, and you'll have your entire Steam library. As easy as power on, sign in, play your Steam games. They claim that there's no compromises, but I do want to talk about the price point here, which we are looking at now. $399 for the 64 gig, but that's not an SSD. For me, I think it becomes worth it to jump up to the $529 one for that internal SSD. Now, 256 isn't a ton of space for most modern AAA games. I'm trying to think of a game that's like coming up that's going to be exciting in the fall, and me struggling to think of one is an indication of what the fall is like. But let's say Deathloop. Even though Deathloop's a PS5 exclusive, it's on PC. Deathloop comes up, it's probably like 30 gigs, 40 gigs. If you are playing a couple of the free-to-play games, Apex, Warzone. Wait, is Warzone even available on Steam? Those games, they get big, especially Call of Duty. Apex itself gets pretty big. All that to say, 256 gig, it's not a lot. It's going to fill up very quickly. If you do like a bunch of AAA stuff, you're going to need to do some management there as far as what you have on the SSD. It's faster storage, right? Faster loading times. Not dramatically faster than a normal SSD, but still, it's what the PlayStation 5 and Series X use for those fast load times. So that's going to be very cool. It says it comes with this carrying case. That's kind of cool. Exclusive Steam Community Profile Bundle. Yeah, for $529, you also get a carrying case. That is kind of cool. Of course, you can also opt to pay a little bit more. For $649, you get 512 gigs. You're doubling your storage here. And you get premium anti-glare etched glass and an exclusive virtual keyboard theme. All right, so it just boils down to how much storage you want. And that's not that much more money, honestly. So if this is something that really interests you, I would maybe even get the 512 gigs because that's honestly kind of cool. But I also wanted to look at the tech specs. Here is a little outline of what the console is actually like. It has touchpads. Look at this. It has 2 touchpads. And on the website, and we'll get to it here in a little bit, but it claims that those things are like crazy accurate. A 7-inch touchscreen, nothing too surprising there. So as far as the overall layout, it's very reminiscent of the Switch. It doesn't seem like you can undock the controls or anything like that, so that's fine. You do have some more buttons in the back too. You have 2 extra buttons on each side of the back. The SD card slot in the same spot as the Switch. And here we go. This is where all the tech jargon jumps in. And I'm not the most knowledgeable in the world about all this, but I can make sense of it. And it has a Radeon GPU with 1.6 teraflops of power. All right, so for comparison, the PlayStation 4 has 1.8 teraflops. So it's pretty close to what the PlayStation 4 can do power-wise. It does have a dedicated GPU. I also want to note that this has way more RAM than the Switch. The Switch has 4 gigs, this has 16 gigs, and this is also faster RAM, along with the faster storage, the dedicated GPU that is more on par with a PlayStation 4. It does come with a Zen 2 4-core 8-thread CPU from 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz. Decent CPU. It's going to make the games run well. You'll be fine. That GPU right there being on par with the PlayStation 4 is pretty much what you gotta know. And I keep saying on par, but it's like just below a PlayStation 4, but a PlayStation 4 was a home console. This is more of a portable device. HD haptics. All right, let's talk about these trackpads. I said we'd get back to it. 32.5 millimeter square trackpads with haptic feedback, 55% better latency compared to Steam controller, pressure sensitivity for configurable click strength. That's kind of cool. Gyro, 6-axis gyro, man. They even got gyro in here. This is amazing. All right, let's talk about the display here. It is 800p, better than 720p, but not by a whole lot. 16:10 aspect ratio as opposed to 16:9. And the reason why they probably didn't go with 1080p or anything higher for this is the battery, and just to keep costs down, right? You don't want to have a more expensive GPU in there because then the whole thing gets more expensive. But regardless, this thing has a 2 to 8 hour battery life, it says down here. And 2 to 8 hours maybe isn't the best. But if you crank up the resolution on this screen, yeah, that battery life gets absolutely demolished. So that's the reason why it is a 7-inch screen, 60 hertz, which is, hey, 60 FPS. That's really cool. It is touch enabled, has an ambient light sensor, Bluetooth 5.0. You can connect your controllers, your headphones, your pretty much whatever you want through Bluetooth. I can't wait to connect my DualSense controller. I still love playing all my games with this thing. Here we get a little bit of a look at the dock. It has DisplayPort support 1.4, HDMI 2.0, so no crazy high refresh rates through HDMI. You would have to use DisplayPort for that, but even then, I don't know that this is powerful enough to run anything like crazy high. But for some of those like smaller indie games or anything that's very esports focused, you probably could get some higher refresh rates out of this. We have Ethernet. The Switch OLED is charging us $50 more for some Ethernet. USB 3.1 with a couple of USB 2.0 headers. Everything's pretty good. USB-C. This thing is actually looking pretty amazing. Again, aesthetically, it's kind of fat, kind of ugly, but if you want to play games on the go and you want to play bigger AAA games, this is it. Like, this is kind of what the Switch Pro was. The Switch Pro was supposed to have 4K upscaling and everything like that. And, you know, no word on anything of the sort when this is docked. We can take a look at the triggers here. They are pretty beautiful. I like the contrast of the white R1 and the black R2 here. Some nice grip buttons on the back. This is all looking pretty decent, and this just came out of nowhere. On the day that Nintendo announced when the pre-orders for Switch OLED was gonna go up, now we have this. So we have fast suspend and fast resume. Dude, I'm hyped. Seriously. If I was the type of gamer who wanted to take his AAA games like on the go, because you have to go work or you have to go on the bus or a number of places. I don't go any of those places. I kind of just hang out at home. This is sweet. This is really sweet. And maybe as the world is getting back to normal, this might be a device that I want to carry with me. And honestly, hopefully, and rightfully, this should put a little bit of pressure on Nintendo to do the right thing, man. Like, come on, Nintendo, you just hiked the price up of the Switch by $50. With this, you can at least take every major third-party game on the go with you. They'll all run really well. Will it run as well as it will on your like $3,000 gaming rig? Probably not. Well, of course not. But this is an awesome solution, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of these. If you are excited, let me know in the comments below. Steam Deck is official. Again, we had heard rumors about it. Other than this thing being kind of bulky, I'm hyped. It's sweet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Do the dance with the subscribe stuff, the thumbs up buttons. Don't you dare click that thumbs down button. I'm joking. You can click it. Comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys soon. Adios.